Alright, it's off now. Oh, now we're on.
That's going to have Chuck look at the tub.
Oh shoot! Why is it just pulling up the itty bitty?
Can you see me on camera?
Camera's on.
Can you see
me? All right. Well.
We look back in 30 minutes.
All right. Well, we are live. I'm sorry, guys. I'm slightly having technical difficulties, but
Got to recess.
Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties. I'll get it fixed, but we're gonna get straight to the point. It's Leo's Pistol Talks. I got LA Kappa's Sutton here with me. I got Steve on with us. He's gonna be hopping in and out, and we're just gonna get straight to the point. I'm gonna let you tell you who you are real quick and how LA Kappa came to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just start to finish.
Give them your spiel.
All right, so I'm Sutton. I actually kind of started LA Kappa. I started it by whenever COVID hit and we were all kind of stuck in our houses. I just started building high kappas for people on tech work and kind of commission, and then was able to kind of get enough money together and start growing out a parts store because, at the time there weren't really any aftermarket parts available in the U.S., and now I've just kind of been very blessed and able to keep growing it where now we're actually manufacturing our own parts and really kind of creating the best of the best high kappa stuff, and have a really kind of great team that's all working together, answering messages, laying out custom builds, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Okay. Now we met back at HDK for the East Coast event.
That's right. Way back in, I think October or so. No, maybe September.
I want to say, September.
Yeah, I think it was September, mid-September, something like that.
And we've just been rolling ever since. Like we've for sure. I'm still trying to fix this.
Putting it out until you fix it.
I'm not gonna be able to fix it. It's gonna just kind of be all over the place. I'm gonna do this. They ain't gonna be able to see us for now. I'm sorry, guys. But we've been rolling ever since. You sponsoring us, and then we've just been working together to get everything. I mean, everything to where it is now.
Sure. Yeah.
And I know a lot of guys, and I think we've talked about this. A lot of guys is really curious about what's going on with the poison slide.
Sure. They are done. Actually, our first batch is done being colored. The second batch, they're all done being machined. Just kind of coloring the second batch. There will be some new color options coming very shortly that aren't available right now, and we are really just kind of waiting on packaging and kind of some promo stuff before shipping out to the public. But they are here. It won't be like last time with the Conquer where we had some delays. We kind of got all the processes down for this run.
Oh, that's dope. I know. I'm excited. I got my order put in. I know a few of the other guys got their orders put in, and it's just now it's anticipation.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I know we've talked about this a little bit here and there. What do you got? What do you got so far planned as far as slides, builds, more, I guess, design models for 2022?
Sure. So I obviously manufacturing. We didn't get to talk about that. Or last time when we talked about it, we were just kind of starting up.
Yeah.
There are so many projects going on behind the scenes right now. Like by summer, you should be able to get most LA Kappa, parts actually, like aluminum. I think the biggest one is probably the frames. Been working on them since September. About when we had our discussion. They are really we're starting mass production on them now. But they are so nice. Just kind of the whole design of them is going to really change that kind of top tier performance high kappa. The advanced frames that are available now, I'm just not a super big fan of the way they function and shoot to kind of get into the technical aspect.
I
So
got you.
we took the good parts about them and then the TM system and kind of
Made a
made it made it made it one.
Oh,
So I'm so excited to launch that. It's kind of hard to explain the whole frame without kind of
giving it away.
showing it. Yeah,
Okay.
showing it, feeling it, because it is so much different than anything else. But I'm super excited for that.
Okay. I mean, if I can ask the few little questions, I know with the advanced frames and a few other frames, they got to where, and it's going to be hard to explain, the actual piece that catches the upper slide. Yes.
The rep.
Yes. Some of them are shorter, some of them are longer. What's if you can give us that information, where it is your slides going to sit in that situation?
Are you talking about length or rails or?
Not the rails. Nobody can see what we're talking about. The actual part that catches the upper slide, like not the. Oh my god! And it's gonna drive me crazy. The the slide, the piece that catches. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to just. As soon as I pop it out and show it to you, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's what you're talking about."
All right.
These right here.
Yeah, the top rails.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cheap way to do it is to do it like that.
Yeah.
We actually made a new design similar to the advanced frame that has the full ones all the way down the slide to create a much better cycle. So it will have full top rails on it, as well as rails on the bottom for your flashlights and TLRs and that kind of stuff. The main difference is where the advanced frame is like one piece, and then you drop in the internals is kind of how it works. This is three pieces, so you have the same main frame, chassis, and side panel. Just like you do with your high kappa, you have three main pieces. So it's three main pieces, but really just kind of redesigned so that the whole hammer system, like the shooting mechanism, functions way smoother than stock. Plus, you have the added benefit of those full rails to really have it cycle way smoother than you would normally. And then the weight, obviously, is significant.
No, the weight is always a factor. Hey, Evan.
In a podcast?
I was my little brother. I'm sorry. No, the weight is definitely always a factor in a high kappa idea, because you don't want to carry like a 9-pound rock running around in your hand the whole entire time. So, I know that one was a question of people's, and then your housings, your blowback housings.
All right, I will. So to kind of touch on weight, that's kind of what I've been aimed to do. Barrels, especially like steel barrels, were obviously the norm until we kind of came along with our tornado ones that we just released. And that's such really, like, if you go for a high kappa, you're wanting something super lightweight that you can kind of clear corners with easily. So a lot of the steel parts that are made right now can be made in various grades of aluminum. So that's kind of what we're pushing towards. And then with the slides too, like that poison slide obviously is like the lightest one when you factor in the sights. Really light slide. And then with our blowback units, we had a huge delay. They were all done, and I did not like the quality of them. The factory that we used just didn't kind of work out, and so I've been really trying to find somewhere that we can still offer them at an affordable price. And finally, like this week, mass production is beginning again on them, and we have the final design. For those that pre-ordered, they will probably be raised the retail price to $50. So for those of you that got it earlier, you get it a bit cheaper than those that got it later. Just having to recoup a lot of the money because we thought we were going to be able to make them cheaper, but I would rather make the best product on the market and have it be a little more expensive.
Yeah, I feel like that's any high kappa builder. I mean, obviously, if you're getting to a high kappa build, you know you're gonna have to pour some money into it. But if you're building a high capper properly and you have to spend a little bit more money to make it the best quality function out there, I mean,
Yeah. I've never seen so much hype for a blowback unit. Like it's a blowback unit, right? So I think obviously people are super interested. The price, it's probably going to be one of the more expensive blowback units, but again, it's really just because of the design and the
right.
machining. We kind of had to take some extra steps, but you know, we're
Yeah.
going to deliver the best one out there. So that'll be back up for pre-order on our site once mass production is done. I just didn't want people to have to keep pre-ordering and waiting for long periods. So, you know, I felt it was better if we just kind of held off on having anybody else order it until we were, you know, in the final stages, just because typically kind of avoids some unneeded messages and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, I just know that. Well, from I guess the few comments that got out there about the blowback housing and everything, they were just ready. They were making sure that it will still be back on the market.
Oh yeah, for sure. That didn't go anywhere. Just you know, didn't want to rush anything. Kind of going forward here.
Um, um, that's cool. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm losing myself. So to bring back the slide, uh, a lot of people have been asking and wondering how did the design come out? Like where did the full picture of the slide come in?
So Speed QB is a lot more secretive than I am. I love to kind of just talk about everything, you know. But they really kept it behind the scenes. We've been working together since November, I think, on the slide, and just kind of keeping it a secret. Sapo was a huge kind of creator in that. I have my CAD designer, an engineer that kind of designs the slide itself, but Sapo really kind of drew that up. We went through several iterations and, CAD'd it. He drew what he thought, and we kind of went back and forth. Really wanted to do something different with that rear charging handle built in, and then the sights built in too. And just all the cuts. It's super kind of clean and futuristic. I guess roughly based on a dart frog, according to Sapo on that one. But yeah, we worked a lot on that design together.
Because the conversations I've been having with people, and I know I've been sharing it around, getting everybody's little information on it, and they just say, like you said, it's very different. The integrated front sight, back sight makes it that much lighter, not having to worry about putting one on there. Makes it that different, much different than any other slide on the market, and it's just it's a very, I'll say for what it is, it's a very clean slide. It's a very clean build as it came apart. And then I think the first teaser video we ever got to actually see it, it was just kind of like, what is this? Like what have they done created in the background so far?
Sure. And I think that like working with SpeedQB taught me a lot about like y'all didn't see anything behind the scenes until we released that video, but I think it did make it that much more kind of, look what we have going on here and more special. So, yeah, I think it definitely drew some kind of hype up in the community, and I do think the slides came out really well.
Oh yeah, I know I'm excited to get mine.
What color did you get?
I got black. I got black. Well, it's going on my Lancer Tactical build, so I got black. All right. The black slide with the red tornado barrel. And
hell yeah.
And so
everybody's. I'm telling you, I think with the release of all the colors that we're doing, like 10 colors of every product, from the barrels, triggers, guide rods, guide plugs, there's a lot of people have been doing like a silver, black, gray kind of slide, and then doing the colored internals. And I think it's super cool because, you always, in the past, would get like a red slide and then like a red magwell, but this, like, you have the black and then the color be the accent pieces inside it.
No, well, since you said the poison frog, that's where the slide led me, and like you said, like it gives it the ability to do that whole, all right, one color on the outside. Now you get to see what the internals look like, and it creates so much more room to do a different color scheme. than your
Sure.
typical your typical gold match or your typical limb cat. Which I'm not dissing those builds. I'm just saying those builds are you see them all across the scene.
Sure, and yeah, I think with the lightweight design and all the cuts and even the blowback unit stuff, it just allows for you to have a lot more color in the inside of the
Right.
slide that people normally aren't able to see.
Because I know I was talking to a few. Go ahead, Houdini. But he's asking a question. I know on a few guys I've talked to, they said they're going to go for that like almost it's obviously a high cap is a mechanical build, but like that more industry grayish, dark grayish mechanical look. Terminator, there we go. That whole Exo Terminator look, and that we just can't wait. I know I can't wait.
Yeah, I think this slide is like super futuristic, but you could also do like a more like gray, black kind of real steel look, but still have like the futuristic in the actual design, and I think that would contrast really well.
Dude. Since we're talking about high kappa builds and everything else, what's one of your prized possessions you got in your collection?
Man, ever since I started manufacturing, all my high kappas that I had became unassembled or sent to various CAD designers or people, and unfortunately I don't get to play hardly as much as I want to. But at the moment I don't have like many that are just set builds that I just love. I mean, I have a few builds that I always keep built, but I haven't done like a project build for myself in so long, just because all the high kappas and parts that I have are in a bunch of pieces for testing of prototypes and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I got you.
But once those poison comes in and we're finally kind of able to get some LA Kappa inventory, I'm gonna probably do a couple of LA Kappa kind of specific builds with all of our parts in them.
Oh, that's gonna be hype, and I know the hype behind. Well, like I said, I've talked to a few people. The whole idea of having just a straight LA Kappa build is definitely a conversation. It's not.
Coming. It's coming. It started with the slide and barrel and magwell, and now, working on a lot of the smaller pieces externally, and then, we'll see.
We'll see.
But I would say by summer, you should be able to get a mostly LA Kappa build as far as the externals are concerned. Most projects are already in the works. It's just manufacturing.
Getting them out there. Okay. We can wait. We can for sure wait.
Build in progress.
Houdini asked, I noticed there is no top screw for the blowback unit. You think this will create an issue?
Yeah, so we went back and forth on the design of this a bit. We opted not to go with one because of how we designed the blowback unit. Basically, there should be more than enough tension to hold the blowback unit in that back part by itself. We did a lot of testing on that because that was one of my concerns too, and it was just kind of a more viable option to not have it with the design that we went for. It's the same kind of thing if you have a like stock sight, right, that doesn't have that screw on the back part. It just screws in from the back blowback unit, and there's no real issues that we've had whatsoever with that. So it's fit really well, been really stable. Yeah.
And yes, Houdini, that was for the poison slide. He said it should fit just nice.
Yeah.
Tuckly in there.
I'll just mention, if you want a 4-3, I know that I've seen a lot of 4-3 comments. The 4-3 Conquer, they'll be done in about 2 weeks of production.
Oh, there y'all go.
So yeah, we kind of redid the design, but kept the same kind of 4-3 Conquer concept. Can they see the screen at all?
Yeah, they can. It's a little bitty, but they can still see it.
Sure. We released, I think, a little bit of this on a YouTube video. But yeah, it's a 4-3 length Conqueror slide. We're also coming back out with the 4.3 tornado barrels. Changed up the design a lot from the first run. So you shouldn't have to do any like fitment or anything. But yeah, for the 4.3 guys, the
It's
4.3 Conqueror is on the way.
Okay, he said not the top screw for the poison slide to hold the black. I'm confused then. If you're talking, I'm assuming he's talking about the housing screw that goes in the back.
I mean, that's there.
I mean,
Then we didn't have a top one to hold it from the top because it's not really needed.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now on the 4.3 Conqueror slides, that's new. I mean, not new, but like you said, it was dropped in the video, and that's definitely. I think everybody's kind of waiting for the 4.3 poisons to make a hit somewhere in the future.
Me and Sapo have not designed that witchcraft kind of stuff. It's coming. I would definitely be down. I think that our next slide after the 4.3 Conquer, which this won't be until like summer sometime, will probably be some kind of spin-off of a Limcat, but with our spin, like with the lightweight design and stuff. Because Limcat slides, like, they always look like super nice, right?
Mhm.
But they are super heavy. So kind of wanting to take a Limcat slide but put some LA Kappa cuts and style on it. So that will probably come next. We haven't done any assembly on that or anything. Kind of focusing on the smaller parts. And then just the normal parts store. Over the next month or so, a lot of new parts coming in, AAP stuff. That's starting to get pretty big, so we're carrying a bunch more AAP stuff. Kind of new products from a bunch of different companies as well. So, should have your one-stop shop for our parts and for, Cow AIP, all the sorts here.
Oh yeah, that's dope. Talking about your website, I know if you guys were looking around for not only AAP, but like if you ever get in the realm of looking for Galaxy parts,
like
the WeTech Galaxy, you spin off of the AAP01.
Honestly, I don't know that much about it. Is it a Glock type base?
So WeTech has done the unfathomable. They have made a Galaxy Glock and High Kappa edition.
Okay.
With the upper of like an AAP01.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I just didn't know if it was. I thought it was Glock, but yeah. I mean, I think most of the stuff will fit the WeTech stuff. For Glocks, again, kind of starting to carry some more parts for them. I think a lot of the AAP and Glock stuff, like some of it can be kind of interchanged in the lower. But yeah, definitely want to kind of cater to a little bit of a bigger audience as we're finally starting to be able to get AAP stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously our main goal is high kappas, and that's not going to change. But yeah, wanting to kind of cater to a bigger audience, and kind of have upgrade parts for multiple stuff. We even started carrying the Monk ESG grips.
Yes.
Yeah, wanted to get the wholesale cart up a little bit more, and I think, again, nothing's been worked on right now, but in terms of Speed QB, we're going to kind of be able to open up into a new area of upgrade parts, at least with manufacturing, through Speed QB, just because, we kind of focus on high kappas, but working with them and kind of bringing some Speed QB branded stuff. There's some kind of Polar Star-ish things in the works.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that one alone because I don't want to spoil it for nobody. Now, actually, since you brought it up, having the Monk M adapter, I have one myself. Have you used one? How do you feel about it? If you do, like, what's your?
So I like it a lot. I've used it briefly. I really do like the style of it. I think Primary should probably make something like it. Um, I think both work really well. Do you have any preferences on it? Have you used both, the normal and kind of the new monk style?
I've for sure used both. I got my monk, and I'm not gonna lie, I rarely touch my primary adapter, just because it's like not. I mean, like
The way it's cut to kind of sit behind there,
yeah,
it's way more comfortable, and
it is.
yeah, I like it a lot more too. I wish their wholesale prices were a little better because in order for it to be feasible for me, I have to sell it above what they do.
Right.
Which, it may just be either an add-on for other parts we sell, or you would just buy it straight from Monk, which they did a great job on their product.
No, yeah.
But I think primaries are still good, but yeah, for sure. I like the Monk kind of ergonomics a lot more.
Definitely, and like if you're for sure, like if you're a Snake player, like I'm not. I've played Snake a few times, and I've definitely played it a little bit more now having my M adapter. I see exactly where the whole design scheme came into play of like taking it from having it sit here and then now sit towards your wrist where you can sit a lot. It's a lot lower when you peek out. You don't have that much exposed just of your mag flaring out. It's just it was a great build. And yeah, Primary, if you're listening, might need to get the ball rolling on building something like it.
Monk did well. Let me ask you a question, if that's fine with you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we've been working with Speed QB, and they've introduced. Have you seen the new 4v4 limited class they're doing?
Yes, where it's like I think one rifle, one shotgun, and two pistols. If I'm correct.
That's right.
Yep. Okay.
4v4.
Yeah.
No HPA either. Green grass and AEG kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? And then I can give my thoughts on it and that kind of thing.
I feel like that is a testament, and hats off to the guys that was here before us. Taking away the HPA. Really HPA really just got started here recently, and it really picked up and ran off. So you're taking away that HPA like adapters, and we got to go straight to old school with AEGs, green gas, and stuff like that. I feel like it's gonna bring out a lot of skilled players, and the people who aren't hasn't really practiced that. It's really gonna show where they're at.
Yeah.
Like
I feel the same way. I think, obviously from LA Kappa perspective, I really like it because it's getting pistols a lot more use in the scene. I think that, like you were saying, like Monk adapter, that kind of thing, it's kind of increasing their viability to be played in the competitive scene. They have the crutch of not being able to put out as many rounds per second as like a Polar Star, obviously, but the mobility that you gain from it playing like Snake, for example, and kind of playing up close. Like some of the best people I watch on Speed QB are the kind of pistol Snake players. So I think it definitely has a spot, high kappas, in the competitive scene. But I think that the 4v4 kind of style will just help it grow even more. Being that you are kind of like limited to that. But I agree with you. I think that it's going to just increase the skill level a lot from what it is now, because you have to be a lot more tactical about when you're shooting and as you move as a team. And I really like it. I really like it.
And me coming from the competitive side, I'm sorry, I know I'm looking off this way. I'm I'm keeping up with the comments. But me on the competitive side, I really see it. For the AEG and the shotgun guy, they might not have that big of an.
I'm doing a podcast, sir.
They might not have that big of a gap if they play with a shotgun, or they typically play with an AEG anyways. But for like you said, your high kappa guys, now those guys have a lot more to think of and be aware of. You don't have a 250 round mag anymore. You only got 30 or 50 rounds in one mag. Then you got to swap.
Yeah.
So like each shot has to be consistent. Right there where you need it, and it does definitely take a lot of team effort for your snake guys and your backline guys to pay attention. Skill level has to be there. Communication has to be there. It's all across the board. Everyone has to be on the same page.
Yeah, for sure. I feel that.
Now that you got me on one, I got another one for you. I don't know if you've seen the LS Speedsoft League. They made a post. There was a post made after Canary Islands in the EU scene.
Let me look. What's it called?
I brought it up and I can't remember exactly what it's called. No. Oh my God. NSL. There we go. My bad. NSL is what it's called. National Speedsoft League.
Oh. Let's see if I can find it here.
While you're searching for it, they made a post after Canary Islands and them boys playing over there. What's your thoughts on that?
Can you send me the post so I can look
Yeah.
at it? Sorry, I try to keep up to date with everything, and I think I do a pretty good job. But I'm so focused on the back end of it,
Right.
out on some of that.
No, I was just saying that they kind of.
Not on top again and again.
My bad. They kind of. I don't know. It just kind of popped up out of nowhere, and everything just kind of. I don't know. Just the idea of that. What are your thoughts on just a national based Speedsoft League?
Wow, so like a national represent USA and Speed QB kind of thing?
That part I don't know.
Okay. I think that it'd be really good in Europe because of the scenes there. I think in the US we have so much talent and so many fields and it's so big here. I think that like Speed QB's doing, we can almost have our own leagues and then from there divide up into East Coast, West Coast kind of thing. But like you had the friggin' I'm not high cap, but like Speed QB worldwide, and you had 4 teams from the US, whether that be the best 4 or whether that be a combination of the best players throughout the country. Like that would be, I'm definitely down. I think it could really kind of bring the sports even a bigger level.
I noticed that post and I was just kind of curious on your thoughts.
Yeah, I think. Have you seen the kind of HTK Midwest podcast that they've been doing?
Yes.
I talked to Caleb, who was kind of in charge of most of that a lot. I think they've done such a good job. Like,
yeah,
the production level that they've been able to achieve.
Shout outs to Caleb. That man
he works his butt off.
Like he is definitely a monster behind the scenes. Like if you don't know who I'm talking about, go check out HDK podcast. He's done a live stream now for I think Shot Zone, Nashville, and then this upcoming weekend actually another one at HDK, and to be HDK's first their own Speedsoft event.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad to be a part of that. Kind of playing the commercials and stuff behind the scenes. I think that their production level, again, thanks to Jason, the owner of HTK, I think they're really able to bring it to a mass stage where you kind of need revenue from an outside source to be able to provide, honestly. But yeah, Caleb's such a great dude. He actually used to work with and kind of for me. He did a bunch of my message stuff for a while. work got too busy, and obviously he does a lot of stuff. He stays busy. And I got two great guys now, Nick and Cody, that kind of do the days in, and then source a bunch of people as well. But yeah, Cody's been or was awesome, and we still hang out and catch up all the time.
Oh, that's dope. And actually, your first commercial played for Nashville, if I remember that correctly.
Yes. I believe so. And then we've continued that on a little bit.
Yeah, and dude, the commercials look great. They played through. Like you said, it helps to reach an outside source to show people like, hey, this is where you need to go, or hey, these are the products they got, and it just gives them a better. I don't know how to explain it. It makes it more official. It looks like to me.
Sure. Yeah, I think over the next kind of 6 months or so, my goal is to be kind of the sole high capper provider. I know there's like a couple. I think we're definitely the top one, but there's some competition out there, and I kind of, through partnerships, through kind of working with fields and stuff, I really kind of want to kind of solidify on top and be able to, keep stock levels. That's been a huge thing. I've never been able to keep stock because, we just kind of keep growing. But really kind of make some partnership stuff. This has not been talked about really, but within, I think, next 2 weeks, you'll see some stuff with Demo, the man himself.
Okay.
And that will be kind of a regular thing going forward. Me and Dylan have been putting together a bunch of stuff behind the scenes.
All right.
Yeah.
So y'all heard it here first. So just keep a lookout. And bringing up Demo, how do you feel about him joining FaZe?
Man, honestly, we started talking about the stuff we're doing now before this, and now, I mean, we got top 100. That would, even if he doesn't go further, I think what he's already been able to achieve is just a real, like, it's going to be great for the community of Airsoft. It's going to be great for him. Obviously, I think he'll gain a lot more fan base just from this competition. And I hope he goes all the way. His price for working together may go up a little bit, but I mean, we'll be able to reach such an audience and really bring kind of gaming and Airsoft together that we've never really been able to see. So, best of luck to him. I'm super proud of him for even making the top 100,
Oh yeah. I think he was, because I was watching the live stream. I think he was worried when they hit 99, and then as soon as he seen his name right there at the 100 mark, he was just kind of like, like his whole reaction was just awesome.
Oh yeah, I think, he was picked 99 out of 100, which I don't think that was like an order. I think it was just kind of random.
Yeah.
But, I mean, being in his situation, I guess just kind of, yeah, my heart would have been beating pretty fast there, and I would have kind of been losing hope. And then, that's awesome just to see his content up there and stuff. And yeah, he was talking. I think we were talking yesterday, and he's making his round 2 videos, and hopefully getting ready to move on past it.
Right. All right. Now down to a little bit more of the nitty gritty parts. I've gotten this question so much, and it's crazy. So Nozzles.
All right.
Yeah. you're like, I know what this is. Nozzles. What are your preferred nozzles?
Yep.
And why?
I would say 100%. If you get a stock, or if you get a Tokyo Marui base, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get a garter nozzle shell and put the TM internals in it. You can use the garter internals, but I don't like them. They decrease the FPS. Best nozzle internals are the TM ones, in my opinion. The best nozzle is the garter nozzle. I live by it. I use them all the time. I carry a lot of different nozzles because a lot of it's personal preference. I think if you go for an HPA build and don't care that much about FPS, I think AIPs are pretty good. Like they'll give you pretty good durability, and it's the whole kit. It's not that expensive either, so I like those as more of a budget option. The Edge ones that they released, I think, I've heard good things and bad things. I'm still carrying them because I have used them before and they've worked pretty well. I just haven't tested them like super long term. But I think the Edge, like short stroked version one, could be a really good option as well. So really all those, but the garter shell's my favorite. Stay away from the cow pink one. I don't carry it. I carry like every part on my store. I really like to have a wide range, but I don't carry stuff I don't like and believe in. And the cow pink one, cow makes a lot of great stuff, but their nozzles just break, or they just the terrible FPS because the diameter inside it. I don't recommend this. Okay. But anything else, mostly the garter ones, even the full set one, and then AIP and Edge are pretty good too.
Okay. And then, I honestly just ran a blank. Let me look. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Besides your own, because I've definitely tested those. Your short stroke kits. Yes.
Have you tested the LA Kappa one?
Yes.
Thoughts, honest?
Honest thoughts. Best ones in the game. I can't even. They're 100. Like, I honestly feel like they're the best ones in the game on the simple fact of you've made them thicker, and that be in the washers and the actual the buffers, and it makes them last. So, whenever you. Well, I'm gonna drop a little bit of our conversation. Whenever you put them in the group chat, I was the part of the group that ordered them, and I've had those ever since. And
those same ones, the test ones, not even the mass production ones.
No, not even the mass production ones, and I'm still using them to this day.
Yeah,
like they hold up phenomenally. Like it's just like I've used cow, I've used Airsoft Masterpiece. I've gotten 6 months and here and there, but yours is.
Well, I appreciate that. That's what it was designed for. Yeah, I like the cow ones, probably the second best, next to ours, obviously. But they would wear so quickly. I mean, you'd open up your gun and like the rubbers would be super big, and the spring. I mean, yeah, the short stroke, and it's so simple, right? Like it's rubbers and washers, but I think the washers too, like just being big enough to not have your rubbers mold around them and hold everything. A lot of kind of thought went into that, just the little stuff to make sure the hardnesses and all that came out well, and I think they really did turn out pretty well.
No, even in the little details, like you said, the cow ones, before yours came out, those were the ones to go to.
Sure.
It's just issues. And what I like about yours is the washers, you've made the diameter for the actual where the rod goes through. There's no extra space. There's no way that the spring can actually go past of where you put it.
Yep. It's gonna stay in place and do its job,
And it's such a simple fix, but it makes literally the world of difference. Now, I'm going to say hop up and hop up wheel. And I want you to start on the hop up wheel and just we'll jump into hop up like that later.
Sure. So I like, they've been out of stock. I tried to get a bunch of them. I like the 9-ball ones a lot. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but they're like orange. They're plastic, but they have more than a full rotation of adjustments, so you can crank them way up and do probably 0.3s plus, or you could do 0.2s. So I like the 9-ball wheel a lot. Generically, like most of the time, the wheel that it comes with works well. Like the AM wheel works fine with AM. I'd upgrade it to the 9-ball, but the 9-ball wheel is my favorite. We also carry the Maple Leaf wheels, and they're a good replacement. Not a huge fan of the Maple Leaf hop-ups, but they work. And then I guess diving into hop-ups, I love the Airsoft Masterpiece Brass, and that'll probably be my favorite. But they're not making anymore for the foreseeable future, just production-wise, scheduling and whatnot. But so that's why I've been trying to find a good alternative. And the AIP aluminum ones are like people sleep on them too much for real. Like the AIP aluminum ones are as good as the brass ones in my opinion. They are a little lighter, which it's not a huge difference, but they are lighter. The only complaint I have is that they don't adjust well. So it's kind of like you need to set your hop up and then screw it in because the wheel's not going to move very easily.
I got you.
You can replace it with a 9-ball one and it helps a bit. But that's my one complaint. But the AIP hop up units are very well made, and I like them a lot. I really do.
Okay. And whenever we're talking about, for the viewers that are watching, whenever he's talking about adjusting more, he's saying that, you know, the Maple Leaf has, like, I think it's a 360 degree rotation,
right?
And the 9-ball one has like a 540.
Right. So it's like a full rotation plus a little more.
Yeah. And I've never had the luck of getting my hands on one, because every time I like see one and I try to go back and get it, always gone.
Yeah, and they're out of stock 9-ballers themselves, so they obviously did well. Yeah. I think another, just to kind of point it out, I think another good thing is the Maple Leaf eye keys. If you're trying to hop heavier BBs, you can just put an eye key in there, and it gives more compression on the bucking. So, if you're looking to hop higher stuff, I recommend the eye keys for sure to kind of help with that.
I got you. And if you're also trying to hop heavier BBs, I highly, highly, highly recommend the LA Kappa flat hop buckings. I highly, highly recommend it. Again, I got part of your.
Were you on the prototype group too?
I was on the prototype group for that one.
Yeah,
and I was just kind of curious. I'm like, man, he said these can hop everything, or like, you didn't say it like that, but you're like, try all weight BBs on it. And I'm like, all right, I got some glow in the dark 3.6s. I ain't been putting to use. I'm gonna try those. Man, when I tell you, I use literally the exact same hop up. I mean, the bucking eye key with a 360 Maple Leaf wheel.
Yeah. I
mean, anywhere I wanted the BB to go, as far as I wanted to go, it was easy. It was so easy. And I'm like, This is a very dangerous build that I'm creating right here.
The flat hop style is so common in rifles and stuff, and I don't get the name. You can R hop your barrels for rifles, but for for high kappa, the flat hop just seems to really be able to dish them out, push them really well, and give good accuracy too. So I really do like how the buckings all came out.
And I'm just I want to pick your brain on that. Like, what made you click of all right, I'm gonna try a flat hop where everybody else has kind of tried this, the same rudimentary R hop style.
Yeah. So I wanted to see if there was a way where we could do kind of an R hop, but then I realized it would be best if it was just built into the bucking itself. But Maple Leaf, honestly, I love their buckings and I'll still carry them and stuff, but ever since they started making the silicone ones, I just don't like them as much. They are a bit too squishy, and I don't love the way they hop and compress the nozzle as the other ones. But I reached out to ESC Custom Works. That's where we actually source them from. They're from Italy. So all the other LA Kappa products, I am over the design and the factories and all that. But for those, we source them from a company in Italy, and we're the exclusive kind of distributor of them.
Got you.
So they were making these flat hop buckings for kind of VSR or gas blowback stuff. So I got them in, and I was like, this is the best bucking I've ever seen. So, we got the green coloring, which was great because it just matched kind of LA Kappa really well. And then, thankfully was able to start carrying them, and they've done really well and perform really well.
I definitely, if you don't have one, highly recommend one because you're going to be able to hop whatever you feel like. I mean, like in my opinion, like I said, I tried it with 3.6s, and I've used other buckings and tried to use 3.6s. It didn't work out so well. Use yours, and it was.
I'm glad.
It was super, super nice.
I will point out, just while we're talking about hop-up area, 9-ball barrels are kind of my go-to. Maple Leaf work well too, for sure, but the 9-ball 600 just hard to beat, like really is.
All right, I think this is where we're gonna differ a little bit, only because I've had these barrels in past guns, and I can't change. I have the PDI 600 barrel, and I've been happy with it ever since.
I feel you. Honestly, I've tested both. They're almost identical. It's really the same brand. Like it is. I don't carry PDI just because it's easier for me to source 9-ball stuff because I can get more of their parts because they're for high kappas. But yeah, I mean, they're almost the same thing. Both are great companies, and both barrels work super, super well. So yeah, 9-ball. I mean, you got a PDI. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, no. As long as you go 600, I feel like you don't go wrong. And talking about that whole area, what's spring strength for your audience?
I get that literally. Like, I think I'm gonna make a dedicated YouTube video just to spring strength, man. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't know. It's literally a conversation all the time. Like, what spring strength do you use? What spring strength do you have?
So hard. It's hard for me, really. Because you want something that has enough oomph to it to cycle your gun quickly, but you don't want too much to where when it goes back, it like jerks it forward almost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really happy medium. It depends on the slide. Like, it's completely dependent on the slide and the internals, mainly the slide and blowback unit. But I mean, everything from the guide plug to the rear and front sight contribute to the weight that's actually being blown back. So if you think about it, like when this blows back, think about every part that contributes to that blowback unit. Obviously, you can't really adjust the nozzle, but the sights, the guide plug, so all that factors into the overall weight. So it's more than just the slide when you talk about the weight of the slide. For limb cats, like heavier slides, I recommend the AIP 140. If you put a bunch of lightweight stuff in it, you could maybe do the Waldo Customs 130. I like that a lot too. I am getting in the Edge ones, which are 135%. They're new. We'll see. I have high hopes. The Edge, they made new recoil springs, and they made new hammer springs that are like less than 100%. So they're lighter, like kind of like the Cow hammer regulator, where it gives you a lighter pull.
Right.
It should do the same thing. So I'm super excited to get those two, and they're on the way. A lot of stuff from Edge coming in. But yeah, I would recommend 120, like for like light Conqueror 4.3, just completely all out lightweight build. 130 works really well too. 130 is probably my standard. Like, if you don't know where to go, I'd say go for 130. But 120, 130, 140 just kind of depends on the build and what you're going for. I mean, they're like $10, so worst case you pick up two and then you test which one feels better,
I got you. All right. So since it's like right around the corner, what do you think the best weight for the poison slide should be for spring?
Oh.
Yeah.
I would say if you upgrade the blowback unit to like our blowback unit, I would say probably the 120, which is light compared to most, but the slide is so light that it is like it'll be so crisp even with a 120 that like you just won't have any recoil. Like really. I would say you could probably try the 130 too. Again, it also depends on how much you short stroke it. So I mean, if you're putting like 4 or 5 buffers in there, I'd probably say 120. 130 is probably a good like if you're just getting the slide and base gun and aren't short stroking it too much, then I'd probably say 130. But I think the 120 will be probably my preferred for that one if you kind of go all out with it.
Okay. All right. And I think the last question I really got, just on curiosity, more or less, stippling. You know, stippling the grip and people getting stipple grips. What is your whole idea about that? And because I know y'all offer stippling, you just go to the website, pick the grip, go from there.
Sure.
Like, what is your preferred? What do you think
like
the best? Yeah.
So, okay. I've always been a stipple person. Like Ebony Supply, I think they do really cool grip wraps, and I think there's an audience for that. Myself, like if I was building a Kappa for me, I would prefer stippled. I just think it looks so clean. It just adds something kind of unique to the build that like not everybody has this pattern. Unfortunately, actually no, not unfortunately. You can obviously order the grip through the website, and it'll be stippled and then brought to you. It takes a couple weeks because I gotta send it to my guy. Yeah, I need more stipplers. Actually, I can't keep up with the stipple orders we're getting in. So, if anyone is a stippler, please hook me up on Instagram because I need somebody else to help stipple guns because I don't have enough manpower for that. But I think it's really really cool, and it's not expensive either. I mean, like it's $40, but like there's a lot of manual time and shipping it goes. And I think it looks really cool. Makes your build super unique. I think grip wraps are cool too. I also really like aluminum grips. They're expensive as heck. They're hard to fit, and they're, you know, it's not for everybody. I think if you can afford one on some builds, it is so clean. We're making aluminum grips. It'll be a little bit because we're not gonna just copy. I'm not a big fan of copying. Like every design I've made, we've made some kind of innovative change to it, whether it be material or design or whatever. But it will be the same like that for the aluminum grip when we do come out with it. And hopefully make them more affordable too. I would love to make them more affordable so that it's a bit more compelling just for kind of everyday people to be able to get an aluminum grip on the build.
No, because I was there at HTK whenever Houdini, he had bought one of the aluminum grips from you, and it's a, like I said, it's a super, like you said, it's a super, super dope grip, but gosh, it's so expensive.
Yeah, that's the problem with them. I mean, they sell. Like, I don't get that many of them in, but when I do, they sell. But it's not for everybody at the current price point, unfortunately. But we're hoping to change that, and I think stippling is a much more affordable and still looks really good option. And like you said, you can literally go on the website, go to the Cal grip, and select the stippling you want, and it'll be done for you. So, you know, pretty easy stuff there.
Here's a good one. I'm sorry, I just seen it. The skeletonized grips. People are kind of not skeptical, but just kind of like worried about the design of the grip.
Yeah, I have not known one to break. Okay, like I know 9-ball, like their stuff can be expensive sometimes, but their durability is really good, and I don't think they would make something that wasn't like good quality. So I do really like their grips. They're super lightweight. They look cool. I think they look really good on some builds. I like their skeleton grip too. They have like a slim. I think it's called like a slim R. I believe.
That
That one looks really cool too. It's like the skeleton one, but just not with the side panel cutouts or whatever. So yeah, I wouldn't really be concerned about durability. I don't think it'll break. Like their build quality is really good. Some magwells don't fit on it for whatever reason. Like the grip design is not for every magwell, which is kind of unfortunate. So just keep that in mind. But besides that, I mean, it's a really good grip, and I think it will last just fine.
okay. Well, we've reached our hour mark. If there's any questions in the audience, we'll just keep talking. I have one. Do you ever do you think you'll build? Well, I obviously Nine-Ball has their own out. Like you said, you're not a big fan of copying, but do you think you'll ever build a skeletonized LA Kappa?
I mean, I haven't done anything with injection. Actually, yeah, I have with the short strip, but like the grip, the plastic material, I've never worked with it. I've done mostly just aluminum. So it's definitely something possible. And may look into it. I think it would also be really cool to do kind of a skeletonized aluminum type grip too. You know?
Yeah, that'd definitely be something completely different, because all the aluminum grips I've seen so far have been, don't get me wrong though, beautiful grips, but just been fully built.
Oh yeah, sure. There's, for me, like I'm kind of picky, and it's hard for me to find an aluminum grip that I really like, personally. So, you know, I'm hoping to get some feedback from the community on what the community likes on grips whenever we do go down that avenue. And yeah, I mean, we'll see.
All right. Well, if y'all don't have any questions, I think the first podcast is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this your first one for this series, right?
First one of the series. Like I wanted to come out. I wanted you to be on here. I wanted the first one to have just to come in kind of right. I know the technical errors have been a little messy, but hopefully I'll get it fixed for next time, and it'll promise you it'll be a lot better.
Yeah, I think let's do this again in a couple weeks. I'll promote it on my stuff, so probably get some more viewership. And you should kind of have all the processes down by then too, huh?
Oh yeah. Next time we do this, I'll hopefully, no, not hopefully, I will have my poison slide. We'll talk about it and anything else new come out.
Sure.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here, watching us for an hour. And see y'all next time. Peace.
It's gonna be here.